Hey everybody, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? So, yesterday actually, I did a girl chat live on my Facebook page, and we talked about taking back your life. And I wanted to do this YouTube video so I could share it with the rest of you guys because our Facebook group is private. And so basically, for those of you who don't know, I have a Facebook group called Second Chances, which is geared to women. It's a safe place where we can discuss our challenges, we can discuss our ups and our downs, and we can encourage and inspire each other so that we know that we're not on this journey by ourselves and that we can share our experiences, share our knowledge, share our wisdom to build each other up. And so I try to respect that page and not share whatever we discuss on that page. But sometimes we have good topics that I do want to open up to everyone else. And so this is one of those topics. So I'm doing a separate video to kind of recap and go over what we discussed last night, right? So before I get started, the topic that I chose was to take control of your life. And I was looking at this Instagram post on Erica Campbell's page, and it spoke so much to me right where I am and where I think many women are, many people are in general. It is a book written by Rachel Hollis, and the book is called Girl Wash Your Face, right? And there's this excerpt in the book that I wanted to read before we start discussing how you have the ability to take control of your life, right? So the book reads, girl, get a hold of your life, stop medicating, stop hiding out, stop being afraid, stop giving away pieces of yourself, stop saying you can't do it, stop the negative self-talk, stop abusing your body, stop putting it off for tomorrow or Monday or next year. Stop crying about what happened and take control of what happens next. Get up right now, rise up from where you've been, scrub away the tears and the pain of yesterday, and start again. Girl, wash your face, right? So good, so good, so good. I love Rachel Hollis for sharing that, for being so transparent, for talking about her moments where she had to actually tell herself to get up and wash your face. It's something that we have to do for ourselves every day. No one else is going to do it for you. No one else can take control of your life. No one else can put your life into motion. No one can take the action steps that are necessary for you to go and be all that you're called to be except for you, right? And so I just wanted to piggyback off of what she has already talked about. We have to make sure that we are envisioning ourselves and dreaming big dreams and having big goals about who we are, right? Because you're not always going to be motivated. You're not always going to have the patience. You're not always going to want to do it. You have to learn how to encourage yourself, how to motivate yourself to actually get up and take control in charge of your life. And so one of the ways that that you need to be able to do that is to be able to visualize and envision yourself where you want to be, right? You can't motivate yourself if you don't know what you want to do. You can't motivate yourself if you don't know where you're going. And so it's so important to dream big. Like, I wish that I had realized this earlier, that it's okay to dream. It's okay to have big, outlandish dreams. Make sure that you're dreaming as big as you possibly can. Make sure that you are envisioning how you want your life to be. How do you want to live? What do you want to see happen for you? And guys, we can't worry about how other people view our dreams, how they view our visions, what they think of what we want to accomplish, what we're passionate about, because they're not going to have the same dream. They're not going to have the same vision as us, and they're not going to be able to see what we see. We're the only ones that can see what we want for ourselves. I remember a time when I was at a workshop, and there was this woman that I admire, and she was talking. And I was super encouraged by what she was saying, right? And so as a result of me being encouraged, I had mentioned to a girlfriend of mine, I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I can see myself doing that. And my girlfriend at the time was like, you can't, what? I don't see you doing that at all. Like, I don't see that being a part of who you are. And, I took that thing and I held on to it and I allowed it to kind of stick with me. And I was like, oh, Tisha, you can't, you're not that type of person. People don't see you that way. Guess what? They're not supposed to see you that way. You need to envision yourself where you want to be. You could be working at Dunkin' Donuts. You could be at the cashier line, but you could see yourself as a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Those people that are giving you their money for their donuts and their coffee, they don't see you as a CFO or the CEO of a major Fortune 500 company. You have to see yourself that way. You have to take control of your destiny, of who you believe that you're called and your purpose to be. Now, I know a lot of us may not know what it is that we want to do. And I know on my last girl chat, I mentioned this influencer her name's Courtney Sanders, who has this book entitled Get What You Want, The Ultimate Guide to Figuring Out and Getting What You Want in Life. How do you do that? You have to take time. You have to take time envisioning and dreaming about how you want your day to be, what you want your ideal company to look like, if that's what you're trying to do. If you want to be a dancer, do you want to be on Broadway? Do you want to be in Alvin Ailey? What does that look like for you? If you want to be a singer, are you trying to be on the Four, or are you trying to sing for globally across the globe? Are you trying to, what is it that you want to do? And girl, dream big. Dream big. Don't limit yourself based upon what you currently have. You have to make sure that you're not allowing your present situation to define your future situation. Because a lot of times we get stuck in where we are right now, and we put caps and limitations on who we are and who we think that we can be. We have to make the sky the limit for us in our envisioning and in our dreaming, right? And so a great way to do that is to use a vision board. And I was looking at a vision board that I had put together, I think it's almost 3 years ago, right? And at that time, let me just give you a little bit of history about myself. At that time, I wasn't quite sure, like Tisha Talks was not in my eyesight. I was not thinking about doing what I do now. But I knew that I had a voice, and I knew that there was something that I needed to say. And I felt very restricted from the situation that I had come from. I felt like a lot of shame associated with voicing my opinion. And I felt I got a lot of negative feedback from sharing and being open and being who I was. And I knew that if I was going to propel forward, if I was going to move into my purpose and my call, that I was going to have to be released from that. I was going to have to be okay with who I am and who I was created to be, and being okay with the fact that it's different from what you are created to be and how you were created to do things. And so I posted, I was listening to Tiffany Alici from the Budgetnista this morning, and she was talking about we can't live our lives for someone else. And so that's basically what I was doing. I was living the life that someone had told me that would be best for me, right? And so my vision board, it was pretty much, it had a lot, like I looked at this yesterday and I was like, wow, this is where I was. So it had a lot of things like, do I let myself fail enough? And failure was an issue for me because I was very afraid to do stuff wrong. There were rules that I needed to follow. There were ways that I was told that I should be and how I should respond and how I should act. And I was very fearful of doing things outside of that. And so I did not give myself leeway. I did not take risks. And I was very like cut and dry. And so I had to stick up here. Do I let myself fail enough? I need to fail. I need to mess it up so I could figure it out. And and then whose definition of failure am I looking at? Am I looking at what I think is failure, or am I looking at the rules that someone else has dictated over my life that I've allowed to define me? You know. And then I had up here, show me how to take who I am, what I want to be, and what I can do, and use it for a purpose that is greater than myself. I think this is so cool when you do vision boards and you look back and I see that this is what I'm doing. This is what Tisha Talks is. This is taking who I am, who I was created to be, what my giftings are, what I'm good at, what I'm passionate about, and what I want to be, where I want to go, and to begin to project that and to look forward to those things, what I can do, what I have in my hands, what I'm able to do. I share the information that I have. I share from my experiences. I share from the knowledge that I obtain. I give that information out to other people and use it for a purpose that is greater than myself. And so the whole thing behind Tisha Talks is empowering and inspiring women to align their passion with their purpose so that they can be impactful in the lives of other people. And so the reason why I do this is not just for me, but because I believe that it can impact other women to a greater place and a better place in who they are. And that betterness in them is going to impact millions in other people, right? And so that I'm working on now. I have up here, count me in, right? Because I used to count myself out because I felt like the Letitia that I know that I am hasn't been accepted and is not a part of the rules that I've come to learn existed. And so I had to kind of count myself out, my true self out, my authentic self out. I couldn't unapologetically be who I was. And being who I was, I like to make this clear because a lot of times people are like, I'm unapologetically who I am, and I'm going to do, what I think I should do and be who I feel I am. Doing that is not about doing it in a mean-spirited way. It's not about being rude or being offensive to other people. It's not about intentionally bringing harm to someone else or intentionally tearing someone else down. It's just about being true to my opinions and my thoughts and my character, the way that my personality, right? It's about me being true to that, me not adjusting to appease you. And me speaking truth, right? Truth and love. It's all based in love. It's all based in wanting you to be more, to be greater than who you are right now, and seeing the potential and the future that is in you and wanting to speak to that future and that potential and not wanting to speak to your present state, right? And so I had all that. Oh, having plenty to share. Like I wanted to have enough that I could share with other people and not just keep it, to myself. I wanted to build community. I want to build community. That's what I'm doing. I'm building community and sharing the information that I've been given because I believe each one teach one. We have not experienced things in life. We have not gone through difficult times in life so that we can keep it to ourselves. It's so that we can give that information and share and help someone else who may be going through that or help someone else who may be about to experience that, understand what we discovered and what we learned along the way, so the same mistakes are not, you don't have to make the same mistakes. All right, so back to what I'm talking about, taking control of your life. Okay, so I share all that to say that everyone has their own unique gifting, their own unique calling. There is a purpose for you being here. And so that alone should make you feel entitled to get up, to wash your face off of the things that have taken place in your life, the disappointments, or maybe just like you fell short yesterday. You did something you weren't supposed to do. Wash your face off, get up and start over. And do it again, taking those action steps, deciding that you can put one foot in front of the other and keep on walking, right? Your past does not have to define your future. Okay. So, we might have doubts, we might have fears, but we still have to make a choice to move forward. That is us taking control. That is us not allowing fear to paralyze us. That is us not allowing our self-doubt to paralyze us. That is us believing in that bigger, believing in that dream or that goal that we have. And so I like to tell this story. When I first got my driver's license, right? My mom, and so remember, I'm telling you, I was a very rule person. Like, what are the rules? I'm not breaking the rules. And if this is what I was supposed to do, this is what I was told to do, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. Do not try to get me to go outside the box, right? So, so I'm driving a car, and my mom's like, Letitia, do not. She's calling me Titty Bop. Titty Bop, do not get on the highway. Like, you can drive your vehicle, you are good to drive on the street, but you cannot drive on the highway. So I am driving my car and I have my friends in the car, and I don't know where I'm going. We're trying to go to like a bowling alley or something. And they're like, oh, okay, make a right here, make a left here. And I am following the rules. I'm making a right. I'm making a left when I'm told. And then someone told me to bear left, make a left here. And so I bear left. And the next thing I know, I was on the highway. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on the highway. I'm not supposed to be on the highway. What's going to happen? So I'm driving like this on the highway, like, oh my gosh. And so as I'm driving and I get on the highway and I take it to the exit that we needed to take it to, and they're telling me, get over, put your blink on. And I'm doing those things. As I am driving on the highway, I realized that I could do this, that I could do this. I was able to get in this car and to drive it, but I needed to put one foot in front of the other to do it. And so you got to remind yourself of the small accomplishments, of the things that you were able to conquer, the things that you thought that you couldn't do before, that you did. It could be something small. It doesn't change the fact that you didn't think you could do it before, but you did it. And so we have to continue to move forward in faith. We have to continue to trust that we're able, even when we mess up, that we can pick up our mess up and get up and try it again and do it again. And so we got to stay motivated, and we have to stay intentional. We have to stay intentional about the things that we do, the time that we spend. Envision what you want, dream big, envision where you're going to be, envision who you'll meet, what it'll look like, what you guys will be doing. Envision how your life is going to form. Envision what you could have. Don't limit yourself or restrict yourself by what the current circumstances are, but look to what you want, what the possibilities are, what the opportunities are, and dream big. Like, if I could leave anything with my kids, I would leave dreaming big. Like, don't start small. If you start with a little small dream, you're only going to go to that little small dream. When I first started Tisha Talks, I didn't have like a grand vision for it. And I just kind of was like, okay. And so I was just doing little things. I said, okay, I'm going to shoot a video, and doing little things are good. The problem with doing little things and just staying stuck in the little things and not having a greater vision is that when opportunities come, you don't know how to move in that direction because you don't have a bigger plan. You don't have a bigger vision. You don't know maybe what things to turn away from because you don't have a bigger vision or a bigger plan. You don't know where your roadmap is going to. So at least if you dream big and you have a great vision of where you can be, and you imagine yourself, like I know who I want in my circle. Like, I know what table I want to be sitting at. I know who I want to be socializing with. I know who I want to have conversations with. I know who I want to be on panel discussions with. I know who I want to be hosting and speaking at conferences with. I know who I want to do those things with. And so it helps me to my plan out my course map as to what I need to do as it concerns my business, as it concerns my branding, as it concerns who I am, right? And what direction I want to go in. And that helps me, that motivates me because you got to have a why. You have to be able to go beyond um, how much money it'll make me. You got to have a why because after the money comes, then what? Then what's going to happen? What are you going to do after the money is here? Are you going to be happy? Are you going to still want to get up and wash your face? Because we know a lot of people who make a lot of money who are not happy. People who are ending their lives, because and they have money, which gives them opportunity. And so it's really important that we understand why, what we're looking for, how we want our dreams and our vision to impact our lives, our everyday living, right? And so that is just super important. And so, look, I know that it can be a little overwhelming and feel like, oh my gosh, I have all these different things that I'm dreaming of, that I'm envisioning. Now what? Now I have these big plans. Now what am I going to do? Well, you're going to take it one step at a time. That's when the little steps begin to happen. So let's say you're like, I need to stop eating all this chocolate. I eat 5 pieces of chocolate a day. I need to stop eating all this chocolate. So I'm going to take it down to 2 pieces. Take it down to 2 pieces. It's an accomplishment. It's a step towards your bigger goal of not eating chocolate. Now you're down to 2, right? And so we got to put one foot in front of the other. We got to continue to push ourselves. We got to continue to trust that we're able to do the things that we've been called and created to do. There is room for you. I know sometimes, you can get overwhelmed. Okay, say if you want to be an author. Well, there's many authors out here. There's hundreds and millions of books that can be read on whatever topic it is that you might want to write about. So why write the book, right? You might question that. Why do it? Well, you want to do it because no one can write that book the way that you can do it. No one can draw in the audience that only you can draw in. I was watching a video by an actual interview with Tyler Perry and Joel Osteen. And Joel Osteen was interviewing Tyler Perry, and Tyler Perry was saying that he's so happy that he did not let go of his dreams. And one of the reasons why he was extremely happy that he did not do that was because there were so many people that he was able to take along with him in this journey. So many people on his crew, so many writers, so many producers, so many people that were given an opportunity that they may not have been given had he not fulfilled what he was called to do. And so us pursuing our passion, us pursuing our purpose, the thing that we uniquely were created for, because no one else is like you. So there is a purpose in your life. There is something that only you are gifted and called to do. Otherwise, you would not be here. And I believe that with all my heart. Everyone has their own purpose and their own call. There is an audience that only you can reach. There is something that only you can accomplish. And there are people that only you can take with you, right? And if you don't fulfill what you were called to do, what happens to those people? How does their life become impacted in a positive or in a negative way with you not fulfilling your call? We're all important. We're all important and we all have a purpose. And so my point in saying all that is that there is room for all of us. There is room for all of us. There is room in this world for all of us to do what we have been gifted and called to do, right? And so ways to stay encouraged, ways to stay motivated, ways to continue to feel like a force to be reckoned with, because you are a force to be reckoned with. You got to get up and put one foot in front of the other. You got to make it up in your mind that this is my life and I'm going to live it to the best of my ability. I'm going to be the best that I can be, right? And so ways to do that is you got to surround yourself with people who are encouraging you, people who are doing what you're trying to do. And it may not be exactly like the same industry that you're trying to go into or the same career path, but people who are forward thinking, people who are looking into their future and not allowing their present to dictate who they'll be. You need to surround yourself by those people, because if you don't, if you surround yourself by people who want to stay in their present, can't see past tomorrow, can't see past today, living living in the disappointments of the past, then that's where you'll be, right? Birds of a flock fly together. That's where you will be. So it's important. And you may not have people around you that you know, right? Maybe you're just in an environment where there are a lot of people that have that negative thinking. Maybe you're in an environment where a lot of people haven't been influenced in that kind of way. Girl, there are podcasts, there are YouTubes, there are books, there are ways to get involved. There are ways to be listening to things that feed you, be listening to things that encourage you, listening to things that remind you of your gifting, remind you that you can do it. There are ways to increase your circle. I love the virtual mentor concept. You are able to follow people, read their books, listen to their speeches, all via YouTube, via Google. You're able to stay in tune with what's happening on social media, IG. You can follow people that are inspirational, that are aspire you to continue to press forward. There are ways that you can continue to encourage yourself, because at the end of the day, your dream is no one else's, right? You can help people with their dream. I'm married, but my dream is my dream. It's not my husband's dream. It doesn't mean that we don't support each other in our dreams. It doesn't mean that I don't support him in the things that he's looking to do. It doesn't mean that he doesn't support me in the things that I'm looking to do. But what I do understand is only Letitia can Tisha Talks. You know, my husband can't be Tisha Talks. And I can't be, what he does. I can't sing, first of all. So I can't do what he does. I have to show up, I have to be present, and I have to be committed in my future and in my life and taking control of it. And so I hope that this is super encouraging to you. I always use that word super because I just really want it. I feel like when I say super, it engulfs you, like it takes you, and it's just like, I hope that it just takes you and drenches you in encouragement and inspiration. And it inspires you to wake up, to wash your face, and to do it again, to dream big, to trust big, to believe big. I have these stickies that I look at every day to remind me. Can you see it? Dream big, trust big, and believe big. That's like the greatest thing I could have done. Opening my mind, right? Releasing the limits that have been placed on me, releasing the boundaries that were limiting my thinking and my hope, releasing those things. So guys, this is your life. Why not live it the best way you can? Make up your mind every morning to get up and wash your face, because girl, it is a new day with new opportunities, new goals, and second chances. And looking for another way to be encouraged, check out my book, Second Chances. It's all about renewing your mind, redefining yourself, not allowing yourself to stay stuck in your past choices or your past decisions. I'm sorry, my arm was in the way. But I hope that this is encouraging. I hope that it was inspiring. I hope that it's helping you to start on your journey to take control of your life. Take control of your life. Is yours, and you're only given one. Make it the best one you possibly can, right? You're the only one that can live it. And so, guys, feel free to comment. Feel free to check out my podcast. It's called Tisha Talks Topics. It's available on most podcast media outlets. And I'll continue to have inspirational and encouraging things that I hope will help you propel and walk in your purpose and in your destiny. So as always, when passion meets purpose, great things happen. I will talk to you later.